In this video, we are going to review a method of graphing a line that involves making a table of values. So we could refer to this as the table method. We are going to graph the line y equals 2x plus 3. And we are going to do it by making a table of x and y values. That looks like this. We have a column for x values, and we have a column for y values. We are going to choose the x values, and then we are going to calculate the resulting y values based on this equation. We're going to pick 2 or 3 numbers for x. 0 and 1 are usually good choices. 2 are absolutely necessary in order to graph a line. Using 3 or generating 3 coordinates helps make sure that you don't make a mistake. So these are the 3 values of x that I chose: 0, 1, and 2. Now we're going to solve for y for each of those x values. That means we're going to substitute 0 for this first one into 2x plus 3 and see what y must be when x is 0. And then we will do that for x equals 1 and for x equals 2. And that will allow us to determine these values. See, 2 times 0 plus 3, y must be 3 when x is 0. When x is 1, 2 times 1 plus 3 is 5. When x is 2, 2 times 2 plus 3 is 7. Hopefully you see that pattern. Each time we increase x by 1, y increases by 2. Now the point of this table is to find coordinates. We then write the resulting coordinates. We use our x value that we chose and the resulting y value. 0, 3 is one coordinate. 1, 5 is our second coordinate, and 2, 7 is our third coordinate. Now that we found our coordinates, we're going to move over to our coordinate plane and plot those resulting coordinates. There is 0, 3. X is 0, y is 3. We plot that point. Next point. X is 1, y is 5. Now, the reason that I suggest a third point is that if we made a mistake on this second point, we would draw the wrong line. But by getting a third point, we can make sure that they're all in a line. And if they're all in a line, then we should be good. Then we know that we didn't make a mistake. That third coordinate is x equals 2, y equals 7. 7 is this point. We're just beyond 6, where these are in increments of 1. So even though it's not labeled, that is y equals 7. And then after that, we just draw the line between all of those points. And that's what we were looking to do in this exercise. Okay, let's take a look at some sample problems. Graph the line y equals x minus 2. This is essentially the same kind of thing that we just did here, but we'll do this from scratch. We will make a table. Not quite as neat. There's our x, and y is going to be equal to our value of x minus 2. I'm going to pick those same values of x, 0, 1, 2. Now we substitute in x equals 0, minus 2. We evaluate that. Use your calculator if necessary. Then we substitute in 1, minus 2. We get negative 1. And then finally 2 minus 2, which is 0. So these are our y values: minus 2, minus 1, 0. But our whole purpose of doing this was to get 3 coordinates. So what are our 3 coordinates here that we found? Well, the first one is 0, negative 2, 1, negative 1, and 2, 0. Let's plot those 3 points. 0, negative 2, x is 0, y is -2. 1, -1 is right there. And 2, 0, x is 2, y is 0. It's right on the x-axis. And now we just draw our line. So this can be a little bit tricky. I'm trying to get the right location here, right between there. And that is what we were looking for. That is the line, y equals x minus 2. Now, it can be difficult to design a GED style question where you would actually have to graph a line like that. So this might be a more typical way that you would use this technique. Which line is y equals 3x minus 4? And we have this very confusing array of lines here. There are 4 different lines on this coordinate plane, and we're being asked to find which one of those is this. We can use that same table method to find 2 points that are on this line, and then go to our coordinate plane and see which line those 2 points are on. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's create our table. We're going to put our x and our y. I'm going to pick I'm just going to pick 2 points this time, because that should be enough to answer this question. And y is going to be equal to 3x minus 4. So one of the reasons that I always pick 0 is that it makes for a very easy calculation. 3 times 0 is 0, minus 4. It's going to be minus 4. And then 3 times 1, that also makes for a pretty easy calculation, is 3 minus 4. That equals -1. Now, we have to remember that the purpose of this is to get a coordinate. And that coordinate is 0, -4. That's our first one. And our second coordinate is 1, -1. Now, you might say, I could probably just do 1 point and get the answer to this. And a lot of times that might work, but let me show you one reason why sometimes it won't. We're going to plot this first coordinate, 0, -4, 0, and then down 4. Oh, look at that. That point is on 2 of our lines. So we've eliminated A and B because the point we found is only on C and D, but it's on both of those. So it doesn't help us nail down the final answer. We have to plot this second point. That second point is 1, -1. So +1 in the x direction, -1 in the y direction. There is our second point. And now we know that the answer must be C, because the 2 points that we calculated are on line C and only line C. So hopefully that was helpful. It's time for some practice on your own.